There is a creature unlike anything you've ever seen before. But a word of warning, never get him wet. Keep him out of bright light, especially sunlight. It'll kill him. The thing you must never forget, never feed him after midnight.
Mom's gonna...
Gremlins.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. My name is Marty, hope you're doing really well. And today, we're here watching Gremlins from 1984. Now if you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I'm also wearing a Back to the Future Christmas jumper. The town from Gremlins is the Hill Valley set, it's the Universal backlot. But it's also used in To Kill a Mockingbird, which we've also watched on the channel. And then another one, the very first episode of The Twilight Zone, which if you didn't know, I am already watching, and the uncut to that is available to watch.
Editing Marty just saying to stick around to the very end because there is way over an hour's worth of extra additional footage, trivia, behind the scenes footage from Blu-rays itself.
If you want to check out the full uncut reaction to this, you can see it over on the Patreon page or as a YouTube member as well. Let's watch Gremlins from 1984.
Friends, Peltzer's the name, Rand Peltzer. I'm an inventor.
I know this voiceover.
It all started here in Chinatown. Maybe find a present for my kid. This is your grandfather's store?
I love the atmosphere with the lighting.
See if there's something you like.
It reminds me of the Crypt Keeper's lair for some of it. It's the candles that do it.
You do have a lot of interesting artifacts here, but there's one thing you don't have.
He's got such a good voice.
I'm an inventor. I made this
What is
the
it?
bathroom buddy.
What?
It's the need to carry heavy luggage when you travel.
He's just a
You
salesman.
got yourself your shaving mirror, toothbrush, toothpick, toenail clippers.
What's
Nail
that?
file. This is going to revolutionize traveling.
That looks handy, to be fair. That
You forgot to brush your teeth. You got yourself a bad case of dragon breath.
I like that touch.
You take your toothbrush out and you push this button.
Wonderful, disgusting looking toothpaste as well.
Rand Peltzer. Fantastic ideas for a fantastic world. I make the illogical logical. I can get them by the dozen if you like.
Is that a Mogwai?
Where's that coming from?
Oh no! Don't show me the spider.
What is that?
You got little cat noises in there of the purrs.
What's he doing?
Singing.
Yes, I used to have this as a little text tone.
I gotta have him. It's a present for my son.
Mogwai, not for sale. Comes much responsibility.
I'll be right out. Here it is.
What about your grandfather?
He doesn't know.
He's crazy. We need the money.
There's 3 rules you've got to follow. Keep him out of the light, especially sunlight. It'll kill him.
I know that.
Keep him away from water. But the most important rule,
I didn't know about the wet thing either.
never feed him after midnight.
It's an Indiana Jones style sign.
Kingston Falls, USA!
There it is! Hill Valley. Universal backlot, but still. And this was a year before Back to the Future, so around the same time it was being filmed, I think. Love it. Judge Reinhold's in it.
What the hell is this? Hey, what are you doing in there?
Don't ask.
Spare one for the boys down at Sheriff's Station.
I paid for mine, Frank.
See that plow? Hasn't given me a day's trouble in 15 years. That's a Kentucky Harvester. Hey, how's that comic strip of yours coming?
Oh, well, Mr. Futterman, they don't run those comics anymore.
There's the cinema! I'm just gonna geek out every time I see bits of this town. This is written by Chris Columbus.
Hey, Dr. Moreau. Morning, Billy.
I've just realised that means 2 films have Chris Columbus behind the scenes for us. Young Sherlock Holmes as well.
Barney.
Signs upside down.
Just made it.
Again.
Sign this petition. We're trying to have Dory's pub declared a landmark. Mrs. Deagle's trying to take his lease away. Yeah, she says it's a dive.
That's when my dad proposed to my mom, you know.
Good morning, Mrs. Deagle.
What's good about 80?
Yep, look out. Shiz are coming through.
Mrs. Deagle? What?
Just wanted to let you know that Joe got himself another job. I'm afraid that neither one of us will be paid for 2 weeks. Just give us a little more time.
The bank and I have the same purpose, make money, not to support a lot of deadbeats.
But this is the time of the year.
Mrs. Deagle, it's Christmas!
Yeah, be a little bit
Well, now you know what to ask Santa for, don't you?
forgiving.
Mommy, I'm hungry. Yes, honey. So am I.
So I've just noticed the sign, Save for the Future as well. Just thinking Back to the Future.
This is what's left of my imported barbarian. Snowman, your dog broke it.
More than happy to.
I don't want money. I want your dog.
Oh.
Give him to me. I'll take him to the kennel. They'll put him to sleep, quick and painless compared to what I could do to him.
No.
What could you do?
I'll catch the beast myself, and you'll get what he deserves. Slow, painful death. Maybe I'll put him in my spin dryer on high heat.
That'd do it all right.
There goes the rest of the snowman.
Oh, I have a very weak heart. I can't stand a shot like that.
Elsa, this is a bank, not a pet store.
There he is.
You're just like your father, the loser. I'll give you when you least expect it.
And you and your little dog, too.
You putz.
Total drama queen.
The old bath never looked better.
Wow. That's amazing artwork.
It's great. You're doing fine.
Thanks.
It isn't Captain Clip-On. Guess who almost applied for unemployment today?
I give up.
You. I would have fired you in a second. Look, I'm a junior vice president at 23. By the time I'm 30, I'll be a millionaire. Look at you, supporting your whole family. You gotta be tough.
And no one's tougher than you, eh, Jer?
Don't call me that. My name's Gerald. Vodka martini, shake, don't stir.
You're working here?
So he's basically doing a James Bond drink.
So Dora doesn't have to pay an extra waitress.
I think that's great.
I feel like working for nothing. You haven't seen my new apartment.
I haven't seen your old apartment.
Come on, we're talking cable. Can't we have dinner tomorrow night?
I'm working.
Why don't you tell Dora you're sick?
That won't come into play later.
Do you need any help?
Yeah, you could do the eggs.
Yes, he knows it always goes wrong. It's like a Doc Brown invention, that one.
Mom, is something wrong?
Mrs. Deagle called again this afternoon.
Oh God, Mrs. Deagle. The one about the dog earlier.
Company, the people who have the kitchen companion might be interested in the bathroom buddy.
Yay! Someone's picked it up.
Tra-la-la-la-la.
What is it, a birdcage?
No, don't shake it.
Wait, he's put it in there with no holes. The thing can't breathe.
It's a puppy, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I can tell.
It imitated the dog.
What is it?
He's so cute. Oh, he's so adorable.
Where did you get this?
Some little junk store in China. Gotta be gentle.
I will.
I hope he's housebroken.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, isn't he cute? Has it got a name, Dad?
Mogwai.
Mogwai.
I just call him Gizmo. He seems to like it.
Gizmo! Oh, look at him, he's so cute!
Look up here a minute.
Gonna get a picture taken.
I'd heard the name. Oh, no, not the Flash.
No.
There it is.
Lights. You know, there's some things I forgot to tell you guys. Don't give him any water to drink.
Strange, the water thing, though. How does he survive? Just on food?
Don't ever feed him after midnight.
I want one of my own. Sorry, doggy, you've been replaced, I think. Nope. Is that like their call? The Mogwai's call? Yay, there he is, his little Christmas hat. Like I've got my one. No, I didn't even think of that. So was he a little animatronic? The fact that they had to reduce the lighting in the film allows for really good mood lighting.
Good night, Giz. I'll see you in the morning.
Giz. Oh, I love him. I've now realised he's got such a fear of his father's inventions because they never go quite right. That's why he always gives them such a weird look, like every time he goes to use it. And it will go everywhere. Oh no!
The filter?
Honey, the fir tree is home. It's
Hey, Billy.
everywhere.
What happened?
From the Goonies.
It works.
It does, but it goes everywhere.
I had to come.
Mad Max poster. We've seen Mad Max on the channel, by the way. What film is that?
Wow, Hooded Menace.
Oh, you've just covered over
This
Giz.
is my new pet. My dad gave it to me.
Can I hold him?
I don't see why not.
Oh no, the water.
In that jar.
Nothing, just water.
What happened there?
I don't know.
A mini Mogwai? Does that become the Gremlin? Oh no. Oh. There's loads of them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million.
There's so many. Oh, maybe they are gremlins. They're the bad ones.
Oh, Gizmo, what's the matter?
Giz is like, no, look what you've done. Oh, what's the bet in his dad's inventions come in handy to help save the day?
I have made an improvement. You're late for the big meeting. You forgot to shave. Now, what are you going to do? Voila. What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So he just attached a razor to the side of it.
No, don't push that. That's not your fault. I'm working on it. I haven't finished that.
Problem with the Mogwai.
It gave birth.
Well, it multiplies with water.
Yeah.
What? All that from water? They got wet?
Yeah, plain water.
I'll bet every kid in America would like to have one of these. They might even replace the dog as the family pet.
Oh, I don't know, though. There's too many stipulations around what it can do. Ooh. Him hitting him.
This could really be the big one.
Oh, he looks mischievous. Very mischievous.
Marty, who did this to you?
Did they hang him up? Did that lady?
Another minute and he would have been intoxicated.
Jeez.
I'm positive that I closed and locked the door.
Then how else did you get to him?
Oh, we can't point any fingers.
He thinks it's that woman.
Mom.
These items he's using are definitely going to come in handy later, aren't they?
And all of a sudden, there were 5 new ones. Now watch this.
No, 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 no. Don't create more. What are you doing? Oh, that sounds like a lot. At least he only applied the one drop.
I keep one of these here. Run some tests on him.
Oh, he's so cute.
This is some Christmas tree.
Oh, where the bar is, I believe I think it's the Back to the Future game. They actually have a speakeasy around the same place.
Hey, how about one more beer?
No, it's getting late.
Going home.
Oh yeah.
You gotta drive drunk?
Because they plant gremlins in their machinery.
Gremlins.
Same gremlins brought down our planes in the big one.
Oh yeah, because they always say about there's gremlins in the machine.
Put them in the cars, they put them in the TV.
It's such a good idea that you drive. Why don't you walk home?
Maybe I'll walk home.
That was really good, the way he handled Mr. Fireman.
He's like a lot of people around here. Just wants somebody to listen, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, more lonely.
That's when a lot of people get really depressed.
I always thought everyone was happy during the holidays.
Yeah, but people that don't have anybody can get depressed.
While everybody else is opening up their presents, they're opening up their risks.
Oh God, that's dark.
Suicide rate's always the highest around the holidays.
Now I'm depressed.
It's very true though.
Did you ever get depressed on Christmas?
I don't celebrate Christmas.
Well, what's not to like? I mean, it's...
Did you lose family at Christmas?
Everybody makes you feel like you're a leper. I'm just a little tired.
Do you get any free nights off from Doris?
Thursdays.
If you're not doing anything this Thursday night, go out on a date?
He actually asked.
I'd love to. Night, Billy.
What they were saying though about mental health and all of that stuff is very true. This time of year it is very prevalent, like there's a lot more of it and people are thinking a lot more about it, especially these days, more so probably than they were back then.
Yeah, no, this is not gonna hurt. Just a little blood test, pal. You'll never miss it.
Yeah, but it's probably a bad idea.
They're like huge seed pods.
Having fun? Pretty neat.
Oh, fun meat. So cute.
Hey, what is with you guys? How about shutting up?
Oh, food.
Oh, it's not 12 o'clock yet. Keep an eye on him, kids. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, why do I get the feeling one of those cheeky little guys is going to go and change that clock?
Well, maybe you guys will be quiet. You guys are really hungry. No?
Call it a night.
Uh-oh. Clock time hasn't even changed. Oh, has his clock stopped?
Mom, could you come up here, please?
Oh no.
I want you to bring the vacuum cleaner upstairs for me.
Oh.
What are they?
Well, they're the Mogwai, except for Gizmo.
Did you feed them after midnight?
But I made sure that it...
Clock stopped, let me guess.
No, wait a minute.
No. They sabotaged it.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
I'd kind of half expected that, but not expected the way that it happened.
Right, this is a cocoon. It's going through changes.
Like my mother.
It's called a metamorphosis. Change in form.
That sounds busted.
Hello?
half-baked inventions.
The convention's great.
Oh, this scene we spoke of when we saw Forbidden Planet, I think. Robbie the Robot, and there's the time machine from The Time Machine.
I know it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's then when it travels.
I'll do the best I can.
Where's that psychotic canine? I catch him. He's in for slow death.
Small animals lose heat faster than large ones.
And this is like that a minute ago. That's disgusting. Everybody out.
Just hatched. I'll be right there.
I mean, that's not a good thing.
Thought you might be hungry.
Oh, this is so effective. Hiding the monster from us. I like it.
Where are you? I know you're in there.
I'd watch your hand if I were you.
Come on out, take a bite. Let me see you. I just want to...
Take a bite of your
I
hand.
know you got to be hungry. Don't you feel better, huh?
Leave it on the floor. I hope he's okay.
Mr. Hanson?
Close the door. Oh no. Love that lighting. Did he inject him with the blood of the Mogwai that he took out earlier? It's glass. Oh no. Yeah, it's the one thing I love with these kind of films where they hide the monster because it makes you... What, the monster? It makes you fear it more. Yes, I'm going to say it's in the cupboard. It looks so weird. That was really cool. No, poor Mogwai, no. No! They've all hatched. Yep.
Get out of the house. Mom?
Oh no.
Billy, we're...
I love the look she's given. Was it, unless that music was meant to be playing in that specific scene, but I don't know. Oh, it is supposed to be playing on the stereo, right? Creepy. Oh! Oh look, you can see the paw prints on the wall from the Gremlin. I love that with the shadow. Oh my god, they are ugly looking things. With very good hearing. Wait, was that stop motion? Okay, that was a puppet. Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh, I didn't think that we were going to see a blended Gremlin. They are weird looking things.
Get out of my kitchen!
Go, Mum! Oh. Oh, I love her. No. She's... Oh! This is so good. It's also not often we get the protagonist's parents involved in this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's usually it feels like it's usually the kids that kind of do this thing, and the parents are just blasé, they don't have a clue. It did it to trick her. You gotta be careful, there's lights in that tree. Your house is just gonna be flashing with lights. Get it off! Yeah, there you go, the sword did come in handy. Oh. Your mum's a beast. She's amazing.
Sorry. The question is totally without...
Yeah, there's Robbie the Robot.
Thick and heavy. Would 60 gallons be sufficient? Would 60 gallons be sufficient? Really use it myself, sir. It promotes rust.
I'm loving these. Yeah, I love the cinematography of this, the off angles. What was that for? Oh no! Does the same thing happen? As I said, the same thing happen when they get wet as well. Run. Just the noises with the lighting. Fantastic.
I know it sounds crazy. This town is going to be turned into a major disaster area.
This kid is drunk, Brett. No, where you are, huh? Where do these little gremlins come from, huh?
My father gave me one.
Vicious little monsters for a present?
I'd say show him the Mogwai.
They look like this.
I've seen him somewhere before. This is so cool. Also, that actor, I think, is in Twilight Zone, I want to say.
The season to be jolly. Right, Murray?
Shirley, will you quit messing with the TV?
You have the thingy.
I told you we should have got a Zenith.
That's why.
Darling,
I'm going to check the antenna.
No! You're gonna die. I think that's the sound of a cat that they've used there as well. Oh, this is so cool. No! No, their poor home.
There's a real gremlin in my cave!
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Gremlin scene you said earlier, yeah.
Be my guest.
Oh no. Oh, that's weirdly terrifying. Oh no. Oh.
Right, plus it multiplies with water.
Hey, get the kid some water, will you?
No, don't get the water.
Yeah, speaking. What?
They're wreaking havoc all over town.
Yeah, sure. We'll be right over. What happened? The Footermans.
The soundtrack.
Something about a snowplow.
It's a creature.
Gremlins.
Sheriff, will you listen to me?
You listen to me, kid.
He actually did something.
Go on home, take a little gizmo there, and open your Christmas presents, okay?
In these films, no one ever does that. No one ever just shakes them and goes, listen to me. I'm telling you the truth. They're always like, but you're not listening. That chair's going to come into play, isn't it? Somewhere.
Fix you something good.
Very messy. Oh, no.
Christmas carolers.
That's not Christmas carolers. That's Gremlins. Not the water, no! No, that's a chair. It's like something from a horror movie. Oh! Did they kill her? I didn't expect her to go up the stairs or fly out the window.
What's that stuff he's got all over him?
The Gremlins.
I really think we should go, man. It's kind of funny, Frank. Do I start the car? Because I'd really like to go back to the station now.
I'm surprised there wasn't one on the roof or something. Close your window. Yeah, that was the brakes they cut. Hey, his car starts. Pete.
Hey, kid, this is Christmas, not Halloween. Fed up with all this Orson Welles, so cool it, will ya?
That's good. The play of it being like the manic you heard with War of the Worlds, yeah.
Sir, I noticed that you're a smoker.
You're gonna try and sell something to him.
I noticed here this broken ashtray. Fantastic ideas for a fantastic world. I make the illogical logical, and I have something here. The Peltzer smokeless ashtray.
No, not the tavern. They are little terrors. They have such unique little personalities to them. The animatronic is so good. The work on it. Surely the alcohol is liquid, like water to them. Or is it only water that does that? This is so good. What's he dressed like? That's so cute. I love that this one on the right is like a jazz fan. It's like, yeah, I love jazz.
Great.
Oh my god. The amount of work involved in this one scene. How long did this take them? This has made my day. Just this one scene alone. Oh, they don't like fire. Oh no, is it because it's... Yeah, is it because it's light? Is that why? He's like a robber. Oh no, it's just Mogwai. No, Gizmo, sorry, it's just Gizmo.
What's wrong? Why is the car starting?
There's a gremlin in the engine. Look at the shadows and everything. There's the cafe from Back to the Future. Obviously the bank in this, but I had no idea the town would play such a big role in this.
Billy, what are these things? Where do they come from?
They're gremlins, Kate. Just like Mr. Futterman said.
Now I have another reason to hate Christmas. The worst thing that ever happened to me. It was Christmas Eve. I was 9 years old. Me and Mom were decorating the tree, waiting for Dad to come home from work.
Was it her dad? He passed away.
Christmas Day came and went. The police began a search. 4 or 5 days went by.
Even he's listening.
I went to try to light up the fire, and that's when I noticed the smell.
He was in the chimney?
Firemen came and broke through the chimney top. A dead cat or a bird. And instead, they pulled out my father.
Oh my god.
He was dressed
as Santa
in a Santa Claus suit.
That's why she doesn't like Christmas.
His arms loaded with presents. He was going to surprise us.
Oh my god.
He slipped and broke his neck. And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
That's awful. No wonder she doesn't like Christmas. By the way, in that scene, there was some really lovely lighting.
Don't start with me. I got a long way to go. I got my...
I always find that with a lot of 80s films, though, they've got impeccable lighting. Look at the mess. Also, it reminds me of the shot at the end of Back to the Future, you know, when the camera goes up with Doc running down that same street. Oh. I've just realised when this was in theatres, this must have been so strange.
They're inside.
All of them?
Oh my god, yes, all of them. This is like the Looney Tunes. It's so mad. That's Warner Brothers as well, isn't it? Yeah. Hi-ho. I just realised the licensing for this.
What are they doing?
They're watching Snow White, and they love it.
At least they're occupied. That's a cool shot. I don't know how they did that though. Like, did they have like multiple sets of animatronics on different rows and then they filmed them separately, or did they film all of them with animatronics? Hello.
Yum.
They've all gone.
Yum, yum.
Cover your mouth. Don't breathe any gas.
I'm sorry, he's gonna blow up the cinema? Oh, they love wrecking that cinema, don't they? It's because Marty crashed into it, is what I meant.
Billy!
Oh no, no. Oh god, that's terrifying.
Come on!
Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? It's gonna go out. Half expect the Back to the Future music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh no, not the cinema. So good it blew up twice.
Billy.
It's ripe.
I was going to say, oh god, he's eating after 12, but he's already a gremlin, so... How did they do that? Animatronic with a foot moving and then they remote controlled it?
Try and find some kind of light switch.
Their tune, the music that was playing, is very similar to Mogwai's tune. Ooh, I like that soundtrack. Now I feel like I know where Stranger Things got it from. This is creepy. Oh, because they can hide on the shelves, can't they?
Christmas shoppers. Saturday
Like
morning at 8:30 we'll have...
that? Is that one?
That's right. Santa Claus offers...
Nope, it's hiding behind the E.T. Looney Tunes. Yeah. The lighting. Ooh. That was so funny to me. Cuts from this aggressive gremlin to just... No. Look at him. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, yeah, they are using the cat sounds, the purring of cats. I don't know why, I thought that was shooting darts. Oh no. Chainsaw. That's terrifying. Oh, he's doing like the thing on the film.
And that guy needs a certain kind of thing.
Yeah. I wonder what the Gremlins do with that. Oh no, water. When I saw that earlier, I forgot about water. No, what are you doing? They're like little dinosaurs, the look of them. Oh. Oh no, not into the water as well. Oh, does it kill them when they're in it too long? I know it said it killed them, but I thought they just went and died. Oh my.
What the hell is that?
Oh, just thought also it got wet before it died, so did they get born from that? Oh, that's disgustingly horrifying. Oh. They melted. Okay. Is that growing again? We don't even know if the other one survived the explosions.
At the site of Dory's Tavern, where officials are now blaming mass hysteria, fires, and explosions, bizarre demise of Mrs. Ruby Deagle.
Oh no, she died. I kind of... Oh my god, that's creepy.
Honey, this is the gentleman who sold me the Mogwai.
An interesting choice of words. Hungi van Guila.
Can't take him back. He's his little pal, his little friend.
I warned you. With Mogwai comes much responsibility.
Yeah.
You do not understand. You are not ready.
In some ways, I think Billy is ready.
He has something to say to you.
Oh. Oh, am I going to cry?
You mean you understand what he says?
To hear, one has only to listen.
Bye, Billy. Oh.
Perhaps someday you may be ready. Until then, Mogwai will be waiting.
It's like family to them now.
I wanted to tell you that I am truly sorry to give you this small token.
It's like, no, anything but that.
Smokeless ashtray.
How did you know that?
Man at gas station tried to sell me. Latest word in technology.
Oh. Hello.
So if your air conditioner goes on the fritz or your washing machine...
Oh, I know this bit.
Turn on all the light, check all the closets and cupboards.
Love that shot, by the way. Was this a matte painting?
You never can tell. There just might be a gremlin in your house.
That bit I know. Yes. Corey Feldman. That's who Pete is. Ba, 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 ba. That's where I knew the guy's voice from. Was from that bit with there just might be a gremlin in your house. It all comes together at the very end there, doesn't it? That was so cool. Every bit of that. The animatronic work on it and the puppetry and everything that kind of went into it. I don't know specifics yet, but we're going to find out when we go into the trivia. But it's so 80s. It's a gorgeous piece of art at the end, that one shot. Because I believe it is a matte painting that is animated, like for the sky moves and stuff.
It's a mad shot that Rocco Giaffri.
That's right.
Painted, right.
That I still think you should have let him just walk off and disappear. Because when the shot came in, Key Luke would walk off right through the matte line. That's right. And I thought it was magic. It looked like they disappeared. It was beautiful.
Well, but he comes back in the sequel and he's a regular guy. So I don't think so.
But the artistry that went into that film is phenomenal. If not for any other scene, but the bar scene. I don't know how they did half of what they did well enough to be all in the same shot and not reveal how they did it. Do you know what I mean? That they had puppets at the forefront of the camera. I'm looking at the shot where the camera is behind the bar and you're looking out, and I think there's like puppets at the forefront, and then there's an animatronic one, or probably just a still one spinning round on the thing. This is the shot I'm remembering in my head. And then there's other ones at the back that are moving and doing things, which are either puppets or most likely animatronics moving.
We just shot a whole bunch of stuff, just random stuff, and Joe managed to cut it all together somehow and show the studio. And based on that, the studio kind of went, this could work. Just
the amount of work put into that film, that must have taken so long to film.
That meant we were idling, like 50 to 75 people who are on the job all the time underneath the floor of the set, doing animatronics, and with little TV screens so that they could see what they were doing with the image reversed, because we're all used to looking at ourselves in the mirror. And in order to make one gremlin do one thing, sometimes it took as many as 5, 6, 7 people, because each ear and each eyebrow and each hand and they all have to be manipulated separately.
Gizmo would break when the dog stepped on Gizmo's ear and tore the ear off in the Christmas gift scene. We had a 7-hour break, and I loved it because I just went over to Spielberg's office and played his stand-up video games.
The amount of damage to the set as well, like with the department store that they go into for the candy, the cinema exploding, all this stuff.
I'm pretty sure that we started shooting about the 2nd or 3rd week of April, and my last day was August the 4th. So basically it was late spring and summer of 1983 in Los Angeles, and we shot almost entirely on Burbank Studios. The San Fernando Valley in June and July and August is extremely hot, and I'm almost always wearing a blazer, and I would wear a button-down shirt and everything like that, and I had to wear my kind of wine-colored parka, and it's 105 degrees out. So for me, it was very, very difficult because I was hot all the time.
The amount of work that was put into that, and then within the same year they then filmed Back to the Future in the same place, and they managed to get them back to looking as they were. I know that's the whole point. It's a set, it is made to be destructed and rebuilt, etc. But the amount of time and work and effort that went into that.
Steph, it'll be well timed so that you can avoid them. And I'll put him just far enough behind you so that he has to wait.
How far are you going to take it?
I think until you actually go down there. Until you actually...
so we'll carry it all the way down. I'll
do the whole thing.
I want you to be happy, Joe. Okay, there's no reason I'm doing the picture. I don't want the money. I don't care about the thing.
You don't want the money? Oh, great. Because it just so happened.
I lived in a loft in Manhattan, and it was not a pretty place to live. I would sleep at night with my arm draped over the bed, and there were mice. So every now and then I would wake up in the middle of the night with a mouse sort of brushing by my hand, and I had this fear of them starting to nibble on my fingers, and I thought, well, there's nothing really more frightening than these tiny little creatures. So I just started thinking about it, and that's where the idea of Gremlins originated. I remember my dad used to spend most of his Saturday afternoons under the car in our garage, and he would always talk about the gremlins in the car that were causing it not to work and causing it to break down. So it was that idea of gremlins, these things that cause mayhem, that really sort of started. the whole writing process.
The build-up to the story, and that was so good. I loved that scene with the mum, where the mum is attacking the Gremlins. I've never seen that in another 80s film. I know another film like this where the parents take part. Most of the time, the parents are very much like the dad was in this, where he's a character, but he doesn't play any part in the main resolution or the fighting back of whatever's happening in the scene. But we actually got the mum fighting back against them, and I really love that scene.
Editing Marty interjecting here. I know people are probably going to mention to me, yeah, but Marty, Stranger Things 5, Season 5, the mother, Karen Wheeler with the Demogorgon. That's the same kind of thing, I know. Well, I have now seen that. Yes, I didn't watch it for the channel, but I have now seen that season. And now having edited this film, it kind of reminds me a lot of it. That scene in particular reminds me a lot of the scene from Gremlins, because it's the mother fighting the creature that kind of reminds me a lot of the Gremlin, to be fair. And considering Stranger Things is highly influenced by a lot of 80s things, I would not be surprised if it was also influenced by Gremlins in some way, in some form or another. So yes, I'm aware, thank you very much for that. But when I recorded this, by the way, just to say, I did record this, I think it was November 2024. It's been a while since I did this. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get to you, but also this year I am planning to hopefully watch Gremlins 2 as well. I want to promise that, but you never know what happens, so I really hope I can. Thank you. Anyway, back to the video.
Now this, of course, became somewhat controversial, this entire sequence here in the kitchen. The blender and the microwave.
Yes.
Well, it's nonetheless, it pretty much defines that little rod coming out.
You don't see the metal.
Today, you wouldn't have that.
That's right.
Today, you get rid of all those
erase
things.
that stuff. Because you don't have
actually
get some of that.
Extremely gruesome close-up of this thing sitting there with a knife in him, which again was considered a bit much, so we took that out.
Little Gizmo, he's so cute. Honestly, I just want to go, whoa, whoa. He's so cute. And he's going,
I had a couple of King Charles Cavalier Spaniels. And the only thing I asked Joe Dante to do was, can you make the fur look like my King Charles dogs? So when you really look at a Gizmo, he has the actual Blenheim fur of a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel.
Okay, one of my standout things that I really liked with that, the stunts, like the chair spinning around the stairs and throwing her out of the window, that was really cool.
Now, originally, this was the second time that she came out. The first time that she came out, there were real carolers, and she chases them away. And then she goes back inside and has that little moment with her dead husband's picture, and then she comes out. And after the preview, we decided to change that and just get right to the meat of the scene.
I also remember this was the first time we actually dressed up the Gremlins in the shoot.
Mm-hmm. And we found that we liked
that was something that evolved. That was something that was not in the script and was not planned. It evolved as we started to shoot the movie. When you put hats on them and things, it made them funnier.
So they became much more satirical copies of people when you did that.
Now this was doing some undercranking here, and then. This was next shot is the McDonald's, the special effects guys launched this thing on some kind of a cannon.
It has a nice Wizard of Oz
with a dummy in the chair.
Yeah, that was an pneumatically air-driven dummy, so the arms and legs were flailing. I think Stutz built that.
You know me, I'm a big fan of filmmaking, and the whole production design behind all of that, whether it was the set design or, as I was going to say, one of my favourite standout things in that, aside from everything else, was the lighting. The lighting added so much to the scenes. Like when we first saw the fountain, that looming fountain shot with it, sort of as the camera was pushing into it, and we got that beautiful light behind it, lighting it up as if to go, it's the Holy Grail, it's water. It was brilliant. And then we got the smoke filling scenes outside, which helped to illuminate the air, so it wasn't just darkness outside. And it just helps to add that atmosphere and make things a little bit brighter while still showing that it's nighttime. I don't know, it just adds something mysterious to it because of the smoke.
Well, this is Chinatown. Well, it's not really Chinatown, it's Burbank.
Straight up towards Cameron now. That couple keep coming straight dead towards us and then veer off.
I can't tell you too much of the plot, but here in Chinatown, I'm looking for something unique and special. A Christmas present for my son, as it were. And you're going to have to go see the movie for the rest of it, kids.
Gremlins is a sort of a gremlin and his boys story. It's a picture about something that probably could never happen in real life. But we kind of wish parts of this movie would happen to us, and other parts of this movie we hope will never happen to us. It certainly is not a horror film. It's also not a spoof on a genre. It's one of the most original things I've come across in many years.
An earlier attempt to have monkeys play the Gremlins was abandoned because the test monkey panicked when it had to wear the gremlin head. Yeah, they were going to put prosthetics, like masks and stuff, on the monkeys. That's insane.
We got a rhesus monkey and put a gremlin's head on him, and he bounced around the editing room and all over everything. And it became quite apparent that this was not the way we were going to do.
I thought there's a little creature called a tarsier, and it had kind of the features that I liked, that I wanted to see in the Mogwai, or that I wanted to bring to the Mogwai. Big eyes, big ears, disproportionately large head. So, I'm thinking here practically. The bigger I can make these elements, the easier I can make them work. I can make the puppets.
This picture is by far the most ambitious thing I've ever worked on. The characters are active through the entire picture and do an awful lot of stuff.
Okay, so it turns out Dick Miller, who I thought was in Twilight Zone, he hasn't been in the TV show that I can see, but he was in the Twilight Zone film from 1983.
This was my first scene that we shot. Ironically, it was the second, I think it was my second scene, but it was my first one where I had any kind of significant dialogue. The first scene was with Dick Miller, actually, talking about the gremlins in his Kentucky Harvester. I believe that was, and this is my first scene. No, the one at night when he's talking about gremlins. He's drunk coming out of the bar, yeah. Okay. But this one, I remember being extremely nervous for. We shot it over at the Warner Brothers Ranch. And to this day, I think it's my weakest moment in the movie because I was really nervous. And I think a lot of my line deliveries in this are pretty... I just wanted to get the lines out because I was so nervous. And I was nervous working with Dick because he was a pro and I was a complete amateur.
Well, Dick carries the scene. It's fine.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, he's known for The Terminator, Gremlins, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. He's in the film Looney Tunes Back in Action, funnily enough. Oh, and he's also in Small Soldiers. That's what this film reminds me of. Small Soldiers. Yes. I kept thinking in my head there was at one point when they were doing something at the house and I was going, this reminds me of that film I saw ages ago, and my brain was just focused on the film. God, just couldn't remember the name of it. Yes, Small Soldiers. Very similar to it. If you've seen Small Soldiers, you know what I mean. Kind of like Toy Story and Gremlins put together. God, I remember seeing Small Soldiers. I believe that was the second film. So I saw Toy Story, as you can tell, because I've got Woody in the background. This is an original Woody doll, by the way. The reason I've got that in the background is because that's the very first film. Toy Story is the very first film I went to see in the cinema with my dad. Or I say the first ever film I saw in the cinema. Around the same time, I'm fairly sure the second film I went to see in the cinema was Small Soldiers, which is weird because they're both about toys coming to life. So yeah, Small Soldiers came out in 1998. Yeah, and Toy Story came out in 1995. Maybe I did go to the cinema between those, but I know I very rarely went to the cinema, so it's likely I didn't. Going to the cinema was kind of a special occasion thing. Oh, I just looked up Gremlins and Small Soldiers. Apparently in Small Soldiers, Gizmo can be seen in the trash with the Gorgonites. Oh, I would never have known that. Oh yeah. Well, it's like a Furby, really. But no, it is. I think it is meant to be Gizmo. Oh, the director of Small Soldiers is the person who directed this. Joe Dante. That's why. That's why they're so similar.
Gizmo.
With this film, though, I'm fairly sure there was some stop motion in there, because just before the mum looks around the door, when the gremlin is by the fridge, that to me looks like stop motion because there's some off frames in there.
This is shot backwards, right?
No,
Isn't it?
No,
this one? No.
Okay. This is our first shot with this, what we call the super puppet.
No, what's backwards is her close-up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which I swore would never work. I remember when you were shooting at this.
This is backwards.
That's backwards. Right. But it was the only way we could get the gremlin to put his head in the hole because we could only pick him out. We couldn't put him in.
Now this scene.
Oh God!
Is
first
one of
time we shot this. Remember?
Yes.
The entire set was turned green.
Everybody was green.
Everybody was covered.
It was much too much.
Originally striping Gizmo with the same character, Oh, that's so interesting. I'm glad that they changed it though, because I don't want Gizmo to have changed. I much prefer that they kept him as the original Mogwai type character and not the Gremlins evil version. This changed when executive producer Steven Spielberg insisted one of the Gremlins be a good guy. Yeah, I'm glad. With whom the audience could identify. Yeah. Well, I think it also helps as well, because otherwise it's just this dread of them all being these monsters, and then how do you get, would it have been that he then turned back? I don't know, can they even turn back into the good selves? I don't think they can. I think that's it. Once they've turned, they've turned.
In the original version of the picture, the Gizmo turns into Stripe, the bad gremlin. And there's no more Gizmo for the second half of the movie because Gizmo is now a monster. Well, rather late in the game, Steven decided, obviously correctly, but nonetheless terrifyingly, that Gizmo was really cute and he shouldn't turn into anything bad. He should always be around for the whole movie and be Billy's pal. And
which just threw me to the floor, because all I can imagine is, all this action at the whole end of the picture of this Billy running around carrying this thing with 5 guys racing along, pulling cables behind him. Oh,
it was quite a blow to Chris, and it was a shock to all of us actually. But we had to realize that because Gizmo was pretty cute, and the audience really was going to like him, it was going to make the movie much more satisfying to have him stick around.
Also, something else this reminds me a little bit of with the puppetry and some of the way the Gremlins are in certain scenes is Krampus. And we've watched that for the channel as well. Well, there's certain scenes in this that remind me a little bit of the way Krampus is as well. Obviously, Krampus was made after this, so it's likely that Krampus had a little bit of an inspiration from this and other things like this. The Santa speech proved to be controversial, and studio executives insisted upon its removal because they felt it was too ambiguous as to whether it was supposed to be funny or sad. This is the story that is told of the dad passing. With it being a family film and having that deeper discussion in it, it's such a traumatizing thing to have mentioned in there. Especially kids are going to be watching with their parents as well. Yeah, I don't know. I liked that they had it in there because it gave a bit of depth to the reason why she doesn't like Christmas, but we didn't really need to know why. Because in some ways, we don't really know a lot about her in the film whatsoever. We know a lot about Billy.
You had a lot of problems over this, didn't you?
Well, I remember the day after I shot this, walking back from the dailies, and the editor said, that'll never be in the picture. And everybody had said when we were shooting it that it would never be in the picture. And this little speech that she gives was actually always in the script. In fact, yes, Chris's original script, the guy who owned the McDonald's that where people came in and the burgers weren't eaten, but the people were, used to have that speech. And to me, it just sort of encapsulated the whole tone of the movie. I mean, this is a story. It sounds funny if somebody else tells it, but if it happened to you, it wouldn't be funny at all. And so it really just depends on, your point of view. When the studio saw the picture, they liked the movie pretty much, although they thought that there were too many gremlins in it, I remember. And Steven said, well, should we cut them out and call it people? And they said, no, we just gotta have less gremlins. And the other thing they hated was they hated this scene. And they said, you just got to cut this scene. And I said, look, it's a 55-second scene. It's Phoebe's best, it's her only dramatic thing that she gets to do in the movie. And I think it's really sweet and good. And you don't know, they said, but we don't know whether to laugh or cry at this. And I said, well, that's what's good about it. It's what's interesting. So there was a campaign to get me to take this thing out. And I sort of stuck to my guns because to me it was sort of endemic of what I thought the heart of the picture was. And so finally they said, well, we'll go to Steven and we'll have him make you cut it out because we shared Final Cut. And so I went to Steven and he said, you really like this scene, don't you? And I said, I think it's a good scene. I think it's important to the movie. What do you think? He said, well, I don't really care for it, but it's your picture, and if you want to have it in, then you should keep it in. Well, this really rankled the people in the front office quite a bit. And in fact, even after our successful previews, they kept saying, now all we have to do is cut out that one scene and it'll be perfect. Because people will walk out. They'll leave. I said, they're not going to leave. If they've liked it up to now, they're not going to leave because somebody talks for 50 seconds, Ultimately, I found out that they were bugging Steven even up until the imminent release of the movie to let them cut it out and send notes to the exchanges and have the scene physically cut out of all the prints.
We were adamant that we had to keep that in the movie because that's what separated the movie from the pack. That's what made it unique and a little twisted.
And it stayed in, and it hasn't seemed to hurt the popularity of the movie over the past 30 years.
Editing Marty here. Hi. I've just found out an incredible piece of information from the behind the scenes. From the commentary, Joe Dante says, bear in mind by the way, I am a ridiculously huge fan of Back to the Future. Okay, and I know I've made mention of it throughout this video. However, I did not know, and I even make mention of this in the film when it gets blown up. The cinema. Did you know they built the cinema for this film for Gremlins? I thought it was always on the studio lot. I did not think that they had built it specifically for Gremlins. And obviously then it stayed around, hung around, and was then used in Back to the Future as well. I had to rewind it back and was like, I'm sorry, what? Back to the video? I'll play you that segment right now.
This is a nice shot of what used to be the Universal backlot. Now, our theater was there, that we built for this movie was there for quite a while, and then that disappeared. And now I don't think there is an end to that street. I think it just looks right into the parking lot. I do remember looking at this stuff that we named a lot of the surrounding streets and things after old movies and movie companies. I think the Allied Artists Supply Store is the Monogram Drug Store. We had all these names of old B movie companies that were on everything, but very few of them made it into the picture. I think that was also once a very long tracking shot. That shot of Phoebe and.
I remember that. I remember the sun was coming up.
And it was really a great shot. And then you put it all together and you go, geez, this is really slow. And so out it comes.
Oh, in Cantonese, Mogwai means devil, demon, or gremlin. There you go. So gremlin does actually come into it in some place.
I'm Chris Wayless. And over 30 years ago, 36 years ago, 37 years ago maybe, we started a movie called Gremlins. And as I read through it, I was pretty terrified. Not because it was a horror movie, but because of lines like, hordes of thousands of Mogwai sweep through the streets. Stuff that was just so ridiculous that my only real quote on the script after I read it was, I wrote on the cover, "Ha!" It seemed totally impossible. But I was desperate, actually. A couple of projects had already fallen through. And so the pressure was on me to get some work going. So Mike Fennell called afterwards, after I read the script. He said, so what did you think? And I said, well, it's impossible. Well, let's do it.
Oh, here you go. Zach Galligan recounted in an interview that when the movie was made, there was no CGI, so all of the gremlins were animatronics, each costing about $30,000 to $40,000. Little to no actual dialogue for the Gremlins and Mogwai existed in the script, in addition to several instances of on-set rewrites, changing or adding too much to the script. The voiceovers were mostly ad-libs, repeating snippets of just performed dialogue. Yep. Yeah, that I like that they did that. But like when Mogwai was repeating what he was saying, I personally think that was so cute. Or when they were in reaction to other sound effects or environment. Yeah. To this end, Howie Mandel recorded Gizmo's lines. No. Really? Howie Mandel recorded Gizmo's lines phonetically for foreign dubs of the movie, where localized dialogue and in-jokes helped make this movie successful with audiences worldwide. I suppose that really helps as well with the other languages, where you could just record specifics of what they've just said and make it specific, because it wasn't recorded on set. It was specific to those certain languages. Yeah, I suppose that would have definitely tied in Gremlins with other countries. Yeah. So Howie Mandel actually did voice Gizmo. You know what? I had no idea that Howie Mandel, 1, did voiceover, 2, that he did Gizmo's voice.
I'm the voice of Gizmo.
From Gremlins.
Listen, I did. I don't think people know that, but it's me. That's me, which sounds like it was an amazing thing, but I did. I had a whole voiceover career. But not a whole voiceover repertoire. So this was Gizmo. And then I did like a show called Bobby's World, and I'm Bobby. Of course. But Bob, it's the same voice. And I did the Muppet Babies. I was Skeeter on the Muppet Babies. It's the same voice.
Skeeter talk like this.
That's right.
Bobby talk like this.
Same voice.
Apparently at least one of Phoebe Cates' screams in the scene at Dory's Tavern is genuine. An enormous cockroach crawled out in front of her during one of the takes. So
I remember there was one day we were about to start shooting, and Phoebe just let out this horrendous scream. I went, "Oh yeah, that was great." Then she screams, "There's a huge cockroach on the bar!"
I'm sure there was. It was not a sanitary place.
No, it was. You could tell by the scream.
Chris Columbus's script went through a few drafts before a shooting script was finalized.
The first draft of the movie was a very hard R-rated horror film. Basically, the cute little Mogwai were accidentally fed after midnight, and they turned into these horrible gremlins, and it was really tough stuff. Billy's mother's head was cut off and it rolled down the stairs. The gremlins all went into a McDonald's at one point and ate all the people but left the food at all of the tables.
These elements were never shot due to the fact that Joe Dante and Warner Brothers wanted the movie to be more family orientated. I mean, that would have fit right in with the whole throwing the old lady out the window and the story about the dad down the chimney. That would have added into the more horror element of it, like Krampus, funnily enough, one I said was similar to this. That's awful though. Like the whole mum part of that one. And yes, of course, the dog, killing the dog as well. Ooh.
And I've sent it to my agent, and he sent it to maybe 45 to 50 producers, and everyone rejected it. But maybe about 6 to 8 weeks after the script was sent out, my roommate, who is now my producing partner, answered the phone, and he said, "Steven Spielberg's on the phone." I said, "Nah, don't lie to me." He said, "No, it's the guy. The guy says he's Steven Spielberg." So I was very cynical. I picked up the phone. I said, "Yeah, okay, who is this?" And he's like, "This is really Steven Spielberg." And it was Steven telling me how much he loved the script. And he asked me to come out to LA and meet with him, and that's basically the beginning of how it all started.
Executive producer Steven Spielberg had a great working relationship with screenwriter Chris Columbus on this movie. Yeah, he then produced the next two movies Columbus scripted, The Goonies, which also stars Corey Feldman in that one as well. And that was based on an idea Spielberg had, and Young Sherlock Holmes, which we have now watched. So yes, if you want to check out the Young Sherlock Holmes reaction, that is out on the channel already. Altogether, 3 years were spent working on these 3 movies. Why was it released in June? I know it was a big film, but it was about Christmas. So surely release it near Christmas.
No, I can't bring it out at Christmas. It's not at Christmas. Let's bring it out at Christmas, then it's a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie.
Well, because it's a Christmas movie, and then 2 weeks after Christmas, it's Christmas. That's old. It's better for summer, because in summer everybody's hot and sweltering, and they'd love to go see a picture that happens on Christmas. You're not buying that, huh?
You're the director.
Oh, in the convention scene in this film, there's also cameos from Spielberg. He's the one that's driving the car along the forefront of the shot, I believe. And then composer Jerry Goldsmith. And in the background, the original Time Machine from the 1960 movie, The Time Machine, which I've seen already, not on the channel, but I've seen it. And yes, in the next scene, it's vanished, and people are wondering. But there's also, which this hasn't said, there's also Robbie the Robot as well, which he was originally in Forbidden Planet, which we have seen here on the channel, if you want to check that out.
This is the Adventures Convention. There's Jerry Goldsmith with the hat on.
Great.
There's Steven
who had broken his leg when he's in a cast.
The guy who just hung up the phone is dressed up as Joe used to dress.
Oh, that's right. That guy's supposed to dress. That's supposed to be me.
And who was he?
He was a stand-in. He was Zach Galligan's stand-in. Right. And also the Time Machine, the real Time Machine, was in the back.
And that's actually Marvin Miller, another late actor in the picture, doing that voice.
Steven does a little cameo in the scene. He goes rolling by in this contraption.
I had hurt my leg and I had this cast on, and I was visiting to sit on crutches, so Joe threw me in a wheelchair and had me do a drive-through.
And there's actually a character in that scene who is supposed to be me that the crew put in, because at the time my dress, my costume for directing was dark glasses, a knit tie, and a white shirt. And there's a guy who comes out of a phone booth in that scene who was supposed to be me, Even I didn't get it.
Apparently, after watching Tim Burton's earlier short films, executive producer Steven Spielberg considered him to direct this movie. He decided against it, however, because at the time, Burton had never directed a full feature-length film.
Gremlins was all practical. We had no CGI. We had a limited palette of tools at our disposal, so it was a matter of kind of being able to, as I worked on the design, to say, I think we're going to need to be doing a lot of rodding on these arms, and they do a lot of reaching, a lot of activity, so these guys need longer arms to do this stuff. And shorter legs, because the legs are a pain in the butt. You know, they're really hard to do on a puppet. That's why most puppet movies are, waist up.
Well, one of the reasons for the no bright lights, and I thought, well, maybe it's to do with low lighting, it looks more creepy and eerie, and then I also wondered if maybe it was to do with the animatronic itself, about it looking more realistic, etc. Well, apparently that is partly true. One of the reasons for the no bright lights rule was that in 1984, director Joe Dante and Amblin could not completely navigate the perilous waters of special effects for the Gremlin/puppets that well. By keeping them in the dark, it camouflaged the problem.
Poor Chris.
God.
This set smelled so bad.
It was incredible because we got all this free beer and pretzels.
We used beer and pretzels and popcorn, and the smell of pretzels and beer that had been dunked in popcorn
promoted beer. We got
after about 3 or 4 days is really a sickly, sweet kind of awful.
Yeah, just the sort of fumes that'd knock you out.
Now this scene in the script, which I checked, is about a page long. And in the movie, it's like 10 minutes. And it's shorter than the original version. Cause
I remember there was an issue of these things drinking, and they would screw up the rubber and everything.
Oh, it wasn't so much the beer; it was the salt from all the pretzels and peanuts.
That's right.
That salt, it just ate through everything.
When we went to the preview, this piece of this reel was a dupe because we didn't cut the negative. On everything else, we cut the negative before. Stephen used to like to do that, to cut the negative before you go to the preview. But this section, we weren't sure which gags were going to work best, and so we just made a dupe of the work print and put that in for that showing.
This is state-of-the-art video game.
That's right. I remember me and my crew and I would play that.
That's the Star Wars video game.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is just, it's a weird Muppet movie. And we brought the Volkswagen into the set and just did that with lighting, and
actually we had it up on a jack. And then let it down.
So I thought it was on ramps. Yeah.
The dog Mushroom wouldn't follow Zach Galligan across the street, so they attached the pair with a monofilament line. Aside from that, director Joe Dante noted that the dog was a joy to work with, a priceless talent of reliably creating the ideal reaction to particular lines that were perfect to cut to. But so a lot of the reactions the dog gave were realistic for those moments. That's so cool. In addition, Mushroom tended to work easily with the Mogwai and Gremlin puppets, moving in sync with them during shooting to produce believable reactions to their actions. I just presumed they got the dog to act that way on set.
I remember this shot particularly because the dog would never follow me, so eventually we put a monofilament to the dog's collar and then attached it to my left hand. So you can see that the dog's following me basically because it's on an invisible leash. And if you watch the dog closely, you'll see as I run, it's kind of like jerks the dog along.
It's amazing how filmmaking changes throughout the years. Today, if you were doing this scene, they would put kibbles in your underpants.
Yeah.
Kibbles and bits.
It's true.
They would.
Did you have to meet the dog and work with the dog? And
yeah, in the beginning.
Didn't they try to have you bond with him? And
yeah, I can't remember whether I said this already, but the dog's name was Mushroom, and he was an amazing dog. And they let me, I think the first few days before I was going to work with him, they let me spend about an hour with him, like just playing with him.
But you were the only one who was allowed to.
And asking the dog about its career.
Yeah, exactly.
The great thing about Mushroom was that he had a look for every occasion, and there are some actors who they do a lot of stuff, and even though they're perhaps not really very practiced or even very good actors, that they can be very cinematic, because if they give you enough of everything, you can always in the editing find the appropriate response. And the thing about this dog was that he had so many different looks that you could actually he was an all-purpose cutaway is what he was. I mean, whenever you didn't know what to cut to, you could just cut to the dog and it would be fine.
And that was on command?
Yeah.
Apparently there are many connections to Steven Spielberg's other popular movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Well, yeah, apparently there are other references, not just that E.T. on the shelf.
There's a little E.T. joke. There's a Bugs Bunny homage and a little E.T. joke here.
Apparently one of the Gremlins says phone home. There is also the stuffed E.T. And at the beginning, one of the movies on the marquee is A Boy's Life, which was the fake name under which E.T. the Extraterrestrial shipped to theatres. Didn't know that.
These the names on this marquee are a Spielberg in-joke, because A Boy's Life was the working title of E.T., and Watch the Skies was a working title of Close Encounters. And I think we did this mainly so that when Steven saw the dailies, he'd be happy, because you always want to cheer him up, as he's the producer.
Oh. The director, Joe Dante, prefers Gremlins 2 The New Batch over this film.
I can't tell you the number of times people have come to me up on the street and said, but you know, it's always after midnight sometime. It's either after midnight of the night before or after, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, listen, I didn't write it. Take it up with Chris Columbus.
It's a very good point.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, they apparently make fun of all that stuff in Gremlins 2 anyway. Makes it sound like it's a parody of Gremlins 1. Zach Galligan already auditioned for parts with Phoebe Cates before and felt very comfortable with her. When it came to the session, he rested his head on her shoulder and gazed at the camera. Executive producer Steven Spielberg said, "Oh my god, look at that. He's in love with her already. I don't need to see anything else." To be fair, they do really work well together as a couple.
Well, in this scene, the last gremlin who's been pursuing me, or I've been pursuing it and been tangling with it through the whole movie, has finally been trapped in a large department store.
The film is everything. I mean, it is funny, extremely funny at times. It's really scary. I mean, scary to the point of sometimes in the middle of a scene, I'll get so carried away, I'll be completely freaked out by the end of the scene. First couple of times I worked with the Gremlins, I was so frightened by them, because I tried to stay away from them as much as possible.
It's kind of like E.T. with teeth.
And now I think we're about to see the entrance of Judge Reinhold's character.
His character, actually, his part was actually bigger before the picture was edited. And he sort of disappears in the middle of the movie after being set up as a sort of a,
bad guy.
In the deleted scenes that run at the end, you'll see sort of what happened to him.
That's a very, very nice dress that you're wearing today. I mean, you look very pretty.
Inside.
You can see where it used to go.
I see Gerald being my superior.
Edward Andrews played the head of the bank, and his character was that he was very precise and very punctual, and everything was always in order. And
oh my gosh, I remember shooting this scene now. I haven't thought about this in 19 years.
Edward Andrews was a very well-known character actor at the time. This is one of his last pictures, and he played a lot of really, really, really bad villains in the 50s in pictures like Phoenix City Story, and it was a real pleasure to work with him. And he was just fine in this part, but unfortunately the role itself became fairly irrelevant to the movie, and he's hardly really in the finished cut at all. I always liked this.
That was cute.
I don't remember this.
This is the scene where we discover what Mrs. Deagle is going to do to the town.
Yeah, the plans.
The High Tox Chemical Company.
Don't you find this a little strange, Phoebe?
Yeah, it's weird.
Those are homes of people who are out of work. Most of them lost their jobs because Mrs.
The
Deagle
Capricorn moment.
can't afford to make their house payments, so Mrs. Deagle's taking advantage of that.
What do you mean?
She's forcing the bank to foreclose on all of their mortgages. I heard them talking.
And then Gerald comes in.
Mr. Corbin doesn't like Snoopy employees.
So you can see that, with the addition of these two scenes, Judge's part actually now is like a normal supporting part, whereas in the movie, it just sort of goes away.
Right.
I like her. She's tough, just like me.
The lead into the bank vault?
This is the lead into the bank vault. But before they hear a noise, and they go around, and before they get to the bank vault, they find Edward Andrews' body, covered with Time magazines and clocks and things because he was so punctual.
Oh, right. All I remember from this scene, and I remember this very vividly, was for some reason Phoebe and I got the giggles during this scene really bad, because every time Judge Reinhold would say Captain Clip-On, Kate, we would crack up, and I remember Mike Fennell looking at his watch after about take 15 and really legitimately getting upset with us. Do you remember that, Phoebe?
Yes, I do.
It's one of Mike's specialties. Looking at his watch and getting upset.
Well, I mean, really, oh, that's right, they're the clocks. Did they show this in the network version?
No, they didn't. What they did in the network version is they stopped it. They started the scene. There's actually an insert here which shouldn't be here. This should all be one scene.
A bug?
That should go. This should be like the next. I think there was a cutaway, and then you go to this.
Captain Clip-On, Kate.
Gerald, are you all right?
See, we could not stop laughing at that. Judge is really good in this scene. I was always bummed when they cut it.
Judge was bummed also because at the preview, somebody was sitting next to him, and he was saying in the movie, "Look in the vault, look in the vault, go in the vault."
And you're like, no, there's nothing, no vault anymore.
But it was a cute little scene. The trouble is that it really does slow the picture down. And as much as I would have rather, I was given a choice to either include this scene or Phoebe's speech.
Yes.
And so I had to let this scene go.
Any time of the day or night without an appointment? You've got to make an appointment with me now.
Remember that, Phoebe?
You've never understood the meaning of business.
He would take that opportunity to really ad-lib a lot and just make up all sorts of funny stuff.
We should talk about this.
That was fun.
I'm in there somewhere.
Yes, you're in the front row.
Now, that was done by shooting different sections of seats and then optically putting them all together. I don't know.
We didn't have enough Gremlins.
Yeah, but how many did we have maximum?
I think by this point, we'd lost a few along the way. I think we had about 105, 108 puppets that were at least from the waist up. We had a few extra arms and legs that we jammed in here and there. But
I remember I was operating a Gremlin.
Everybody did.
Secretaries were operating.
We had everybody on the movie.
Sorry, we called everybody down from the production office.
That's right. The back couple of rows in there were a bunch of Gremlins tied to a board with somebody shaking it. And we had everybody, I think from the third row back, we had helmet Gremlins mounted on the helmet. So one person had
three. One on his head and one on each arm. And of course, we just kept adding things like putting the popcorn bags on the ears and adding hats and having them smoke and
By now we have discovered
that's something else you couldn't do today is have them Gremlin
right.
smoke.
You have to digitally remove it like Disney does with all.
Yeah, my cardboard cutout Mickey Mouse ears.
I see toilet paper flowing through. That's always good.
It was fun when we got to throw stuff.
Yeah, throwing stuff was great. That's why the bar scene was so much fun. We broke more. Well, those glasses, those fake glasses.
And a bunch of real ones, too. I remember.
Somebody's got Scott Brady's hat. Sheriff's hat. And one of those puppets is a stuffed raccoon. Because we ran out of puppets, so we used a stuffed raccoon.
The educational film shown to the children about the heart and the pumping of the blood, etc., was the Bell Science Series film Hemo the Magnificent from 1957. This short was written and directed by Frank Capra, who also directed It's a Wonderful Life. And obviously that appears in the film as well. So there's just massive nods to Frank Capra's work. Oh yeah, I never thought about this. Chris Columbus wrote the script for this movie and directed Home Alone 1990 and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. And this and those two films, all three films, include video clips from It's a Wonderful Life. He really loves the film. I mean, I do as well. I really love the film. It's one of my favorite Christmas films.
The movie was always designed as a bit of a satire, a little bit of a riff on It's a Wonderful Life. So I felt that in that spirit, that the audience would accept sort of the storybook element of Gremlins.
All of a sudden you go by this stuff and it's like,
suddenly things start to happen.
Yeah, and as you go further on down the street, you got more smoke and all the rest of it.
Our production designer was a guy named James Spencer, who had a similar sensibility to Joe and I, kind of a little off the wall. So in addition to the sets, obviously, he also designed all the Peltzer inventions, the wacky Peltzer inventions that didn't work.
I was the writer, so I was just happy to be invited to the set whenever I was allowed to come to the set. So I would just hear who was cast. And I was particularly excited about Hoyt Axton. I loved his music, and I know his mother had written Heartbreak Hotel for Elvis Presley. So I was a huge music fanatic, still am. So I was very anxious to meet him, and I was really excited when he was cast.
Well, I want to say something.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I don't have any awards. They're not ready yet. But one of the greatest experiences of my life as an actor, and I have been an actor all week, and I like it a lot, has been working with Mr. Dante.
You'll hear meetings like this every 5 minutes.
He's an incredible human being, and
a great American.
So far, the checks haven't bounced, and I'm very glad to be here. Thank you, Joe.
I really think that the casting of Hoyt Axton was one of the keys to the success of the movie because he's such an incredibly natural actor. You never really get the sense that he's ever forcing anything. Like the classic scene where he gives me Gizmo and explains the rules to me. I don't want to say he ad-libbed it, but Joe was like, you just say it however you would say it. Just make sure that you explain the rules in a way so that nothing's left out. So Hoyt would take the script, he would kind of like, at least for that second, he'd kind of throw it away and go, all right, so there's 3 things that you can't do. And I was watching him going, this guy is so natural. It's like he's doing nothing.
Don't ever feed him after midnight.
I was wondering where my next job was coming from, and incongruously, this envelope comes from Steven Spielberg, which I assume is obviously gone to the wrong address.
So we read this thing and it was like, oh my God, this is incredible. But, how are we going to do it? It's impossible. This is, of course, 30 years ago. This is the pre-digital era.
So I drew up some storyboards, and I went to visit him when he was mixing E.T., and I showed him my storyboards, and we talked about it a little bit. And I found myself being attached now to this picture that was ostensibly going to be made by Steven. And I think that Steven's concept for fantasy films was that they played more believably if the actors weren't that familiar, and that the audience would get over the idea that they're watching so-and-so and just get into the characters.
Steven came up with one idea that I think solidified the commercial success of the movie, which was one of the Gremlins not turning into a bad Gremlin, become Billy's companion and sidekick during the course of this film. And that Gremlin was Gizmo.
There were, simple puppets and slightly more advanced puppets, but we did maybe a dozen of one kind, a dozen of another kind. And then there was 100 different, each individually assembled and built and mechanized and operated puppet. So it was really critical for the crew to be really aware of what each puppet could or couldn't do.
Sorry, this piece of information here reminds me so much of Back to the Future, which is funny because the film is filmed on the same lot as Back to the Future was as well. Phoebe Cates apparently said, kissing Zach Galligan was like kissing your brother. That's what Lorraine says to Marty, isn't it?
But when I kiss you, it's like I'm kissing my brother.
And Galligan blames a set visit from Steven Spielberg for making him feel nervous. As I recall, his main concern was to make sure Gizmo was in the shot, says director Joe Dante.
That's a piece of animation that we had made specially.
Pete Coran.
Yeah.
Now these guys...
the Gremlin train.
This is the Gremlin train. These guys are all on a flatbed with wheels, and they're being pushed and pulled in various scenes.
We had to build a big version of the head. And then, of course, we had to make oversized props to match the giant, head.
The other thing about Gizmo that most people don't know that's really amazing is that he had what I would describe as a peel-off face. So his face would be sort of hollow, and then they would take a smiley face and they would stick the smiley face on, and they would do spirit gum around and they would glue it, and so you had the smiley Gizmo. And then they'd go, okay, well now he's upset because someone turned the light on, so they peel the smiley face off, and then they take a sad kind of pouty face and they put the sad pouty face on the Gizmo, and they would just peel that. And I was like, wow, that's clever. You just peel the expression off and peel it back on.
We didn't have that same approach with the Gremlins. Basically, the Gremlins had that face. We had different versions of it, but it was a Gremlin face, and we couldn't really vary a character off that and do it easily. So I had to come up with something that was transferable so that any one of these Gremlin puppets could quickly become our bad guy. And I don't know where I came up with the mohawk, but that just seemed like such a easy slap-on job.
Near the beginning, as Randall Peltzer makes his way to the curio shop in Chinatown, a wrecked car is seen with the hood up and smoke coming out of it. That car is an AMC Gremlin. In real life, the AMC Gremlin logo, located on the gas cap, bore a striking resemblance to the Gremlins featured in this movie, except for a more grotesque reptilian appearance.
There was a virtual army of people under the set living there. Sometimes they didn't come out all day. They just come out to go to the bathroom. It was very demanding. And looking into that monitor, these little black and white monitors with the picture reversed all day, and trying to decide whether if you pull this cable, his eyebrow goes down, and he pulled his other cable, his eyebrow goes the other way. Well, that doesn't work. They got to both go down at the same time. And since there was usually more than one person per puppet, it was quite a coordination to be able to get everything to look like it was real. The picture used to start with Hoyt looking for a present for his son in Chinatown, and we had this opening scene that ultimately proved to be kind of redundant, so we ended up losing it. Well, Tina Hirsch was the editor on this picture, and there was a lot of footage, and it was a long rough cut. It was probably 2 hours and 40 minutes or something like that. Once we know that Rand is in Chinatown, we need to get him to the place where he finds Gizmo. So we ended up having a narration at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. And there was originally a lot more stuff shot in Chinatown. I mean, I didn't bother including it here, but he walks through all these streets and there's people burning things. There's all this local color and stuff. And you just really don't need it.
This was my very first maquette, and quite honestly, I still kind of like this guy. It's a very different kind of cute. I got a soft spot in my heart for this guy. And the original sculpt is not really the same proportions at all of the finished.
So again, here's a gremlin that was built just to do that.
Actually, that was the plate-throwing gremlin.
Now that saw blade looks like it was thrown right next to his head, but in fact, it
comes in from the other side. Now, how about the bicycle riding?
That was the simplest rig, and we loved that. I wish we could have used that for the word go. We just, tied his feet down and propped him up and put a little radio control bobbing head. That was a killer puppet, that stinking little Mogwai.
Well, it's in the picture. We didn't cut it out.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it made it, but boy, what a lot of work that one was.
So Zach really went through a lot of, he took a lot of punishment in this thing.
Now, this was a reshoot, right?
This was added because
we wanted to make Gizmo more
proactive,
more of a part of the climax of the movie, which was done actually after the preview.
Yes.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there's a version of the movie that exists that doesn't have that stuff in it.
Oh, I wonder if this includes the end. So apparently, although he followed the basic outline of the script, Hoyt Axton, who's the guy that did the voiceover and played Billy's dad, obviously, he is said to have improvised nearly all of his lines. I wonder if that includes the voiceovers. I loved those.
What is this film called? This Clark Gable?
It's a movie called To Please a Lady.
Right.
And it used to be, when we first shot it, it was a Chuck Jones cartoon called Feed the Kitty, because it was a little cat in a red car, and the red car is the same kind of red car that Gizmo drives later. And in fact, it's playing in the long shot. That's the cartoon, as you can see, which is cropped out in the theater. But for some reason, we changed it to the black and white movie. I don't know why. Because we had to pay for that movie because it was not owned by Warner Brothers.
I didn't know this. When Billy leads Pete up to his room to show him the Mogwai, a rolled up movie poster for Twilight Zone the movie 1983 can be seen standing on end against the wall. Director Joe Dante and executive producer Steven Spielberg directed segments of that film. I love the Twilight Zone.
I would have wires going all the way down my body and coming out of a hole they cut in my sock. So I would be holding the gizmo and I would be dragging anywhere from 10 to 30 different wires along the floor.
It's basically a system that is hooked up to a whole system of cables, which you can see right here underneath, which is so huge, twice the size of the puppet at least. And many of the controls, especially on the face, go down to a real simple but ingenious system of hand controls like this, which is right now I'm controlling the mouth here. And the head turn and arms have to have a separate system of controls because they're a little more involved.
The wires would all go to a separate individual person with a joystick. So one person would control the ears, one person would control the nose, one person, they would have to all synchronize those 10 different things by watching monitors at the same time.
Amongst others, the voices of the Gremlins were done by Michael Winslow. You're kidding? From Police Academy. Yeah, Michael Winslow from Police Academy. You know, I mentioned about the Looney Tunes thing earlier in the film. In addition to restoring the classic Warner Brothers logo for the opening of the movie, it was hoped to release this movie alongside the classic Looney Tunes short, Falling Hair from 1943, where Bugs Bunny is harassed by an airplane gremlin during World War II. This fell through, but highlights from the short do appear as part of the behind-the-scenes featurette.
Get a load of this, folks. It says here, a constant menace to pilots are the Gremlins. What a fairy tale.
Oh, here you go. The term gremlin is a neologism popularised by English-Norwegian author Roald Dahl, famous for his somewhat dark children's books. His story, Gremlin Lore, about fictitious mischievous elves that were said to cause unexplained damage on Royal Air Force planes, was commissioned by Walt Disney, but was never made.
He shot for 3 months
with the actors and the Gremlins only insofar as they have to interact with the actors. Then we shut down for 3 weeks so that Chris Walas could then really get everything together to do an intensive 2.5-month Gremlins only shoot with no sound or anything, just shooting the Gremlins.
And it was maddening. It was just maddening because after you've been staring at these puppets for all this time, you just can't tell whether they're looking real or they're not looking real. They just start to look like these phantasmagoric things that you dream about at night. And the only exception to that plan was that we brought Phoebe back to do this bar scene because it was just her and the Gremlins, and that was done way after everybody else had left. Now here, since we had met Chuck Jones, we thought, well, let's put Chuck in the picture. Why not? And have him say some nice things about Zach's art. There used to be a lot more of emphasis on the fact that Billy was an artist. And in fact, in one version of the script, he ends up looking kind of like, at the end of the picture with his torn clothing and stuff, he looks like one of the superhero characters he's been drawing. But that started to disappear in various rewrites, and then even though we shot a lot of stuff about it, it ultimately didn't seem to really resonate very much in the movie, so we just took it all out. And this was the introduction to Billy's room. The only reason that we had it was we wanted to show geographically, where his room was. And so by going up and showing exactly where it is, you had a better idea. But again, it was a casualty of nothing happening in the scene other than that.
Because it established the laundry chute, too.
Yes, and it also establishes that you draw and that you do these, sort of semi-heroic characters, which in the script you are supposed to look like by the end of the picture.
Joe would say, okay, make them sad and lean over here and try and reach for that and stuff, okay? And so I would do the technical interpretation of that and say, so give it about a 40-degree turn to the right and drop, half inch and then do the reach. And that's the way we operated.
We were actually able to create the illusion that this non-existent thing was alive. So much so that the dog in the movie was convinced that this creature was alive.
I felt so bad when I hit Mushroom the one time. Oh, you took that shot out, though.
No, it's in
No, that's in here.
Oh, is it?
But it's a great shot.
It's a great shot.
So we left it in.
You didn't do him any harm.
I know, but
he was just a little startled.
And he was such a nice dog. He just felt so bad about everything.
In the original version of this, there are 2 blinds, and Gizmo pulls the first one. Then Billy pulls the second one, giving him something to do. But Steven felt that Gizmo was the hero of the movie, not Billy, and therefore he wanted to fix it so that only Gizmo was responsible. So even though the windows are too thin for that much light to have come out of, we had to cut the second shade.
But the way we shot it was I got to be more like Bruce Willis Die Hard stuff, and he's shooting the gun at me, and I did my own stunts. I was really proud of it. I dove over this big rack of potted flowers that they had, and I dove over it and I landed on the ground and I pulled a shade and I killed the Gremlin. So then I went to see the premiere and it's Gizmo on this pink car saving the day. And I said to Joe, what the heck? I thought I was the hero of this movie. And Joe turned to me and he goes, the name of the picture is Gremlins, not Billy's Adventures in Kingston Falls. It's called Gremlins. So the Gremlin is going to save the day. And I went, okay.
Gerald orders the vodka martini, shake, don't stir, and it is an attempted shout-out to James Bond. However, Judge Reinhold kept fumbling the line, seemingly unable to get out the correct shaken, not stirred. Eventually, they just decided to let the line stand as it was, since it made Gerald seem even more pretentious and clueless. Yeah.
And there's the line that Judge could never get. For some reason, he had some kind of mental block about shaken, not stirred, and he just could never get that. He's still, in the picture, it still says shake, don't stir.
Oh my god, I didn't even realise. Billy Peltzer's mum, Lynn, starred in Back to the Future. She played Stella. I forgot, it's Frances Lee McCain. I kept looking at her going, she's so familiar. Why is she so familiar?
Marty, you look so familiar to me. Do I know your mother?
The same film that I absolutely love that's filmed on the same set. There's so many links.
The mother was Frances Lee McCain, and she was terrific. We also cast Corey Feldman and Judge Reinhold, and then Holly Holiday for Mrs. Deagle. And then, of course, Joe likes to salt in as many actors that he grew up seeing in horror movies and things. So we got Harry Carey Jr., who was in a whole bunch of John Ford movies. Bill Shallert as a small part. Ken Tobey, the star of The Thing. Another great B-movie actor that Joe liked was Scott Brady. And then, of course, Dick Miller, who, tried to put in everything. And he played the pivotal role of Mr. Futterman.
It's one of the most fun things, as I say, about making movies is working with actors. And everybody seemed to have a pretty good time.
The new Mogwai, which popped out of Gizmo's body as small furry balls and then started to grow, were balloons. And they expanded as such. I didn't realize they were balloons.
So we shot the beginning of this, obviously, with the actors, and then everything that's cut away is...
Anything that doesn't have the actors in it was done later, like this stuff.
And this is a full... This is
the larger size.
It's a double size one of the comic books we had blown up.
Hand-tied fake fur on the back to get it...
It's my drawing of the Wolfman on back there.
I didn't know.
Forgot about that.
And these were the biggest nightmare.
These are
about 8 guys underneath trying to push these rubberized fur balloons up, blowing them up. Yeah, little hair balloons.
And we have stop motion in the movie because I love stop motion, and there were certain things that we just weren't going to be able to do any other way. So there is a scene where a mass of gremlins descend upon the town, and we got the little miniature town and little gremlin puppets, all of which were numbered and can be moved, one joint at a time. It took forever. And in the middle of shooting, one of the lights blew out, and everyone was distraught because they thought, well, I got to start over. And I said, no, don't start. Just keep going, and we'll just put a sound on the soundtrack of a light breaking as if they've thrown a rock and broken a street lamp, and it'll be fine. And it's in the movie. So this was another gag that was a little long, so we cut it. And these are the same carolers who were seen later at, or actually who we cut out later at Mrs. Deagle's. And while they're singing, this gremlin comes up and sings along with them and kind of upsets them. But the only vestige that's left of this scene is, I think we used the very end of it.
When he laughs?
Yeah, we used it elsewhere in the picture. Because once we had the trouble to dig that hole and put those people under there and cover it up with snow, we figured, boy, we get one shot of this at the picture at least. So he's supposed to be singing here. And then he ducks under, and that's the piece we used elsewhere in the picture.
When I finally, heard, Gizmo as voiced by Howie Mandel, that was Gizmo. That was going to be Gizmo as long as we could keep making Gremlin movies.
If Joe ever has an inkling to bring Gizmo back, I know one guy that'll be there.
That'll be me.
Phoebe Cates asked the explosive guy how big the explosion would be. I presume they mean with the cinema set. The explosions guy said, well, we packed it pretty good. She says, what the hell does that mean? And then she said, in the event, it was deafening. And the heat was so intense, I thought it had singed my eyebrows. It blew off the doors of the theatre, there you go, as you can see in the film, and it shattered windows on a building at Universal a mile away. Holy mother of God.
As I recall, this explosion was so powerful that it shattered somebody's plate glass window in their house. Some
house near Universal, yeah.
Universal. The concussion actually shattered.
Oh, I remember you asking Zach not to break the candy light. So try not to break the neon light.
Yeah, I remember that.
There you go. There you go.
Mike just slumped in the chair. That was a rental.
Zach Galligan recalls Phoebe Cates teaching him the importance of always having your character add a little something to the scene. Galligan states, so she bent down and picked up a piece of sawdust and put it on my shoulder.
I remember Phoebe came up with the nice bit where she reaches over and takes a piece of sawdust off my shoulder because she was saying so. Well, she can say it. Do you remember that, Phoebes?
No.
What she said was, she said, it's always good to have some kind of activity or to be doing something or to add a little something extra to the scene. So she bent down and she picked up a piece of sawdust and put it on my shoulder.
And there it is.
And there it is. You can see it. Well placed on the left side of your screen. And then she comes over, and when he says something like, I think we added the line, we're talking cable.
Yes, that was an ad lib.
Come on, we're talking cable.
Such a hip thing to do.
And right here, now she leans over and she grabs that piece of sawdust for a nice little moment between the two of us.
Yeah. And it shows who she likes.
The only thing that I got for the first audition was the scene in which Phoebe and I are talking about Christmas, and then I ask her out for a date at the end. And for the final audition, I sat down, and sitting right across from me was Phoebe. They kind of paired us together. And I was really quite nervous. But Phoebe was so sunny and happy and completely unnervous that kind of calmed me down a little bit. I mean, she just seemed so confident. But apparently at the end of the audition, I put my head on Phoebe's shoulder and I kind of like looked up like, and went like sigh, like it was what a romantic scene and how pretty is this girl and how happy am I doing this audition and everything.
When Zach put his head on Phoebe's shoulder, it was something between the takes. They weren't reading the scene. We actually thought, oh, look, he's already in love with her. And it was that moment that we saw that they had a great chemistry.
I remember we shot the puddle of goo that he turns into here at the end months before we even knew what we were going to do with him in the fountain.
That's true.
I remember asking, well, what does he turn into? What's this puddle of goo? What's happening? And you remember me go, I don't know. He's just a puddle of goo. Make some bubbles and smoke, and we'll figure it out later. Yeah. This is a shot. What's he going to turn into?
I don't know. The dog will carry it.
Yeah.
See?
He does. Yeah, absolutely does.
This is the scene with the noodle factory that explains that Mr. Futterman has been fired from the noodle factory.
I guess that's the end of my career in noodles.
Dick, what do you think? Do you remember this?
I don't remember shooting it.
So, Howie Mandel did the voice of Gizmo, who already had a baby voice in his comedy repertoire. For Gizmo's singing, they auditioned loads of professionals, including an opera singer, but ended up using a little girl found by Jerry Goldsmith, who wrote the score. The girl was a member of his synagogue.
Now, this is Gizmo singing, although it's actually not Howie.
No, this was not me.
This was a member of Jerry Goldsmith's congregation, and he found this little girl who was not a professional, and he wrote this little theme, and she would sing it. And we would
Who becomes a professional at doing that?
You got to have a trade.
I remember going for the audition. Do you remember where it was a building in the valley, and there was I guess you had a rented office, and there was a gynecological suite in the same building. You know that? And a guy
was
named Frank Welker,
early in my career.
Frank Welker took me to the he's the one that told me about it, and he played Stripe. He's the voice of Stripe, and he brought me there. And there was women going up the elevator that I thought were auditioning against me, but they were going for other reasons. And I remember hearing these screams and weird noises coming out of this room, thinking this is not somebody I'm going to recommend to my wife. I had no idea it was the audition.
No, it was a Steven Spielberg production. I mean, come on. Now, Key made up a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
In fact, as I recall,
he came up with a lot of the aphorisms, the Confucius-like statements, and
as I recall, this scene was largely
improvised. It was kind of rewritten on the set,
and it was the day that Chris Columbus visited with his parents.
Oh, right, in the dialogue.
And the dialogue was not the dialogue that was written.
We were improvising it and changing it.
The aphorisms are completely different in the script.
And I remember you saying, Gizmo's going to say something at the end. I said, I kept saying, what's he going to say? We were asking everybody, what can we say?
We didn't know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
No, I remember this was all made up. All these encounters and stuff.
We'll stick a couple of crosses, and then as we pull back, then people can come in from behind camera and everything. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want it to be real sudden, but I don't want to get the sudden feeling that, I know what they're going to do. There's going to be a lot of people. We just sort of gradual it up. That's for the big shot.
No, it's for them coming in.
No, all you have to do is explain it to me. Okay, fine.
I was a lucky guy to be in the places that I was to get to make the movie. I was lucky to get to make the movie when I did. I was lucky that the picture was a big hit. I was lucky that I was able to have a career after it. But, when the bus hits me, they're going to say, this is the guy who made Gremlins. I mean, I'm identified with Gremlins. It is the movie that defined my career. I call it a medley of my hit because I never had another movie that was as big as that. And many directors are lucky if they ever get a movie that big. So it was a great thing for me, certainly. And when I look back on Gremlins, I can't believe we actually got through it. Every scene that comes up is sort of like, wow, we got away with that.
I've already run through over 100 of these pieces of trivia, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm really sorry that I didn't get through all of the trivia, but I have already spent, currently as of recording this, 6 hours recording this video alone. That's recording the film and then going through the trivia and hunting down bits of information, and then like a week to edit this thing. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Anyway, guys, I'm so sorry if I didn't include the bits that you would like me to have included, but please let me know any of your favorite little facts, especially things that I haven't mentioned. What I just want to say is thank you so much for watching this point of the video. And as I always say with these films, I love to give you a secret phrase so you guys can let me know that you have seen till this very point as well. So the secret phrase for this film is bright light. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you do like this kind of thing, consider clicking the like button, because it lets me know that you guys like this kind of film. And also let me know at some point if you'd like me to watch Gremlins 2 as well. I did have someone mention ages ago to me to not bother watching Gremlins 2 because it was so different to this, and I kind of want to see what Gremlins 2 has in store for us. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see the full uncut reaction to this, again, it'll be over on the Patreon page or as a YouTube member. But it's been a pleasure. Take care guys, stay safe, and don't forget, you never can tell. There might just be a gremlin in your house. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. If you're still here to the very end, then thank you so much, and also a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons. Roger C. Griffith, Douglas Collier, Terry V, Miggy Love, Chris Holmes, Jojo, Thomas Masters, Shoehorn1234, Res, Patrick Durr, Andrew Blount, Carlos, Marla Mize, Rob, Chandra Blair, Scott, Paul Zawicki, Randy, Kirsten, Juan Pablo Camero, JL, Maggie, Freya Alexandra, Milo, Miranda, Edna, Gina Aman, Tess Avaland, Olivia, Maria Stoicheva, Neno, Megan Janoviak, Rainy Tomo, Strawberry Tree, Kirsten Bailey, Boobly Boo, Louise Vanderhoven, Aubrey Terry, Wraithist, Heidi Steele, City D, Bumblebee, Joshua, Jesse, Rena Burrow, Meat, Lolita Verbakovskia, Eli, Holly Jeffries, Alenka Hafner, HM Garth, Chloe Grover, Neb, Kyle Baker, Abby Barker, Tom Tattershall, Kristen Olds, Tilly Chum, Laura Hutchison, Tara M. Wilcoxon, Sazzy Nation, Ferdinand Pitchard, Jim McKay, Sphere, Mel Days, Fran in the Pen, BG, Tara, Rags and Muffins, Nameless Human Being, Deb, Philippa Chapman, Emily, Panda, David Wayne Fox, Jessica Asakovich, Sue Pro, Naja in Workshop, Mike Tunnicliffe, Wolfgang Wolf, Lee, Harvey, Ankame, Aninya, Evan G, Violet Aurora, Pamela Chandler Rash, Scott Howard, Joshua, Robert Williams, Steve Webster, Amanda, Lipaz, Jamie Dodds, King, Happy Go Lucky, Caitlin, Analytical Guy, Maria Torres, Cliff Adams, Jonathan, Dirk, Annie Bonds, Crystal Appleby, Scorpius, Monica Murphy, Sebastian Saint-Ange, Varga, Leslie McKittrick, Nick Stark, Number 1 Carez, Jen, Biff McKeldin, Birgit, Stephanie Collins, Emily, Ken Duncan, Max, Helena Klitsch, Amy Quattlebar, Ry Levi, Wayne DeFries, JJ, Mikhail Augustine Reed, Malcolm Hope, Lee Hallam, Bill Waite, Charlie Elkin, Mika Least, Jeffrey Welton, Aleidoscope, George, Ingrid, Stephanie Sexton, Jude, Bera, Robinio GD, Catherine Ellis, Vincent Pare, Sammy Fan, Eric Jansen, David K, Stephen, Edcat, MB8, Border Collie Lover 223, Caitlin, Juiced, The Gallifreyan Rebel, James, Johnny115, Tim, Paul Hess, Frank Tex, Marie Clark, Robin, Matt Quinn, Offer Rock, Bruce Heckerman, Joe, Victoria Helm, James Melton, Beatrice Soiler, Siegfried, Clara Grow-Louis, Lana Gorgeous, David Stafford, Rebecca K. McDowell, Ashley Stanley, Sophia, Fabian, Paul Byrne, Bear, Nadia, and Chris Thompson. If you'd like to see more videos, there's some more on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching guys, and see you next time.